All right, man. Well, hey, I can officially kick this, I'm not going to swear, bar podcast off, coming to you live from Final Third Bourbon and Cigar. I should say Cigar and Bourbon Lounge.
Yeah.
In Ingalls, Indiana. Special guest, Scott Blewett.
Yes, sir.
And Spencer.
Good afternoon.
Spencer, what's your last name again?
Mitchell.
That's what I thought it was. I was going to say that, but then I know another Spencer, and I'm like, I'm going to F that up. So
That's not common.
Spencer.
I don't know any other Spencers.
No, I know a couple Spencers, but you're my favorite Spencer.
Well, I
Spencer.
appreciate that. I'll try to keep it that way.
You're my favorite Spencer. So yeah, we got a wide angle view pretty much right now. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to pop around a little bit, but we are hanging out at the. So I'm going to pop that up there. You guys see this? This is a new little gadget that our guys hooked us up with, so I can kind of somewhat produce this. But you guys saw what happened a little bit ago when I tried to clunk my way through this. Mm-hmm. It's a homegrown podcast, okay?
It's still rough around the edges.
It takes time.
But I don't care. You know why? Because we're going to make it happen. It's going to work out just fine. Yeah. We're here for 1 hour, right? So we got the Pacers coming on a little bit later. We got cigars. I'm going to light mine in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and then you can answer the way you want to while I fire up my stick. Scott, is that the same one you got?
It appears that it is the same one.
Rob turned me on to it.
I told you before you even walked in to get that one. What are you talking about, knucklehead?
Well, he said it'd be. He said.
Yeah,
he said.
nothing.
He said.
If I owned a cigar bar, maybe you would listen to me.
He told me. He's like, man.
I told him to get that one. He didn't want to listen. I'm like, hey, you should get the knuckle sandwich. Guy Ferretti makes those. They're Espinosa.
He did.
Really
Rob was like, dude, this is the cigar to go with. So I'm. Let me get this bad boy flipped open here.
But if I owned a cigar bar like Rob, you would listen to me.
Flip the lid open. There you go. Now it'll work.
There we go. So there. Now we're cooking with fire right here, man.
Literally.
Do you have it cut on the end?
Oh yeah, okay. I already dipped it, Scott. You know I like to dip mine.
Yeah, I know.
This is a little different podcast, Blewett, than what we've been used to in the last few.
It's okay.
Few months. We could get a little raw on here. You never know. The whole purpose of coming out to the Final Third Bourbon and Cigar Lounge is because we're going to talk a little bit about the 2025 Rock and Ride for Hope. And
how is it?
The first taste I got on that, Rob, was a little caramely. Right? You said kind of like baking spices, right? Was that? Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Oh, that's money.
It's one of my favorite here at Rob's place at Final Third.
I'm going to give everybody a little shot of Rob and our audience out there. Oh, they're over this way a little bit. They were on the couch. If him and Rick were nuzzling on the couch, man, watch out.
Well, Rob will be up here. He's going to take my spot in a minute.
Yeah, Rob's going to come up here in a minute. So
we don't need him up here. Just keep him over there.
Man, listen, Rob. Well, we're going to talk to you in a little bit about this whole, what we're doing around the Rock and Ride, but Spencer, you are on the bill.
I am on the bill.
You are on the bill, buddy.
I'm excited about this
2025 Rock and Ride for Hope.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
This will be the 1 year anniversary of the first time that we've played, and
yeah, last year you played.
Yeah.
The story. Do you know how we met?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
You went and picked up something from his house, and you recognized that he had a bunch of guitars, and that started the conversation.
Well,
not guitars. It was the drum head.
We had the drum head with the logo on it.
Okay.
And I've got a great big Naptown Hepcats marquee.
Well, I knew it was something that you saw at his house when you picked something up.
It definitely gets your attention if you're walking into my house.
That's cool.
Hey, Rick, I'm going to ask you, man. Well, Rick can't probably hear me right now, but he's my how's the audio sound? Pretty good? Yeah, good. Okay. Well, we're good, man.
We're rocking.
Yeah, so I had the blessing of buying a kick-ass pub table, 50s retro-style pub table from...
Which I'm a little upset that
here's the cool part. So at the 2025 Rock and Ride for Hope, we are going to have at least, man, I should bring the whole set out, but we're going to bring the bar stools out because in between bands, and we got 30 minutes in between bands, we're going to bring up like some of our sponsors, some of our resources, if somebody wants to get up and kind of talk about, like, hey, what does building a refuge mean? Blah, blah, how'd you find out about Story-Wise? We're going to have about a 20-minute kind of, fireside chat up on stage.
Excellent.
That's really good. That's good.
So, the bar stools are going to make it full circle,
I'm
buddy.
glad. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that they're getting used. I'm glad that they're being used for such a cool thing, and it definitely beats selling them to some knucklehead who just out to trash them.
Yeah, right, man.
You like that word too,
This
don't you?
honestly, man, this
I say it. I call my kid that all the time.
this honestly might be the funnest place to do a podcast. I'm not gonna lie, like super fun.
It's a great place. I come up here all the time, because it's right around the corner from
Yeah,
my
I mean
house.
Scott can belly crawl home, I think, right?
Yeah.
I
You're
could
not far
probably-
from here.
No, but I come here all the time because Rob and I have been friends since 1998. So I don't know why I come and support him because he's horrible to me every time I come in here. But yeah, for sure, friends is a loose term.
You guys are friends, though, right?
So
I mean,
was
yeah.
there? There was some questions you were going to ask us.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you one. You kind of answered it already, but how did you find this place? How did you find this? Like, how did you become friends with Rob? Because the funny thing is, you said, hey, I got this buddy of mine, Rob. His place probably be pretty cool. And then Spencer was like, what? Rob?
Yeah. So
I think it was more like, Rob.
So the funny thing was, this used to be a hairstylist place, and my wife noticed it closed down, and it was being what do they call it? Redone.
Revitalized.
Yeah, and
It's being
so
revitalized.
my wife said, hey, I think on Facebook it said it was going to be a cigar bar. And I'm like, no way. So then we kept on watching it. And then I think I might have came up here. Rob, was it the first day or second day you were open? I don't know, I can't remember, but I came up here, and I've been coming ever since. They got a good variety of cigars,
Yes, they do.
good people, and
You can
and
see
good-
that behind us.
Yeah.
You can see that behind us.
They got
And not only this, check this out, Scott. You can see the whole place.
Look at that.
It's very
Huh?
clean. It's very clean. Real nice people.
And the best old fashioned you'll ever have.
Oh, it's money old fashioned.
best old fashioned.
It's a very good
I mean-
old fashioned. If you like old fashions,
I do. I love an old fashioned. I am a little old fashioned.
Me too.
I'm gonna talk a little bit like this because I feel like I'm in a cigar bar right now.
but that's how I found this place.
Well, that's cool, Scott. I think that's really awesome. How did you guys? Well, maybe I should hold that for a minute when Rob gets up here. But I was going to ask you guys how you guys met. But
We'll talk about
all right, so I'm gonna jump back a minute and just share a little bit with everybody. We are hanging out here, as I mentioned on the front end of this. If you didn't hear it, Building a Refuge is a men's mental health nonprofit. We're a support group. So I'm not a clinician. Nobody a part of Building a Refuge is a clinician. We are not licensed to do anything but hang out, have cigars, and listen. And from a guy's standpoint, I think that's probably one of the coolest things, that we can do, is just hang out with one another and do this. And so, Building a Refuge has been in place since 2018. We do meetings at Harley Davidson of Indianapolis, located up in Fishers. We also do some meetings over at Indy Coffee Roasters. They're a great kind of partner of ours. And then we also do some events across the year. One of them happens to be, look at this guy coming in. One of them happens to be the 2025 Rock and Ride for Hope. Man, look at this dude. Yeah, I know. He's sly. He's sly. Fly like a white guy. So anyways, yeah, the 2025 Rock and Ride for Hope is happening on June 7th. The reason we're hanging out here at Rob's place here in Ingalls is because Rob is so kind, he's going to allow our motorcycle stop to come through here.
Yeah,
on Saturday.
They're going to come through here and be able to stop and do whatever they want.
That's right. And as Scott mentioned a minute earlier, they got great drinks. They got great refreshments. They got soda. I'm looking at the soda cooler. They got water, coffee. If you want a great old-fashioned, if you want some great bourbons, and if you want to rip a kick-ass cigar while you're hanging out, man, you can do that.
And
so
just a little FYI, they have some really good local beers, too.
Oh, nice. Right on. That's cool. Indiana local beers. So we're not promoting drinking and driving by any ways, but we're just saying, hey, listen, we wanted to come out and highlight. We've been doing that all month long, is highlighting, some of our partnerships and sponsors and things like that. And man, what a great place. This is the first time that we've ever done the bar mental health hour, because that's technically what we are, the mental health hour. I mean, what's better?
I can't think of much.
I mean, what's outside of just rocking some fucking rock and roll? What's better?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much.
Not much. So, with that being said, at the I'm going to pop over here so people can kind of see some of our schedule as well. See, look at this. I'm kind of a producer as well, which
I like that. That's
I
pretty,
know,
that's
right?
pretty cool.
Pretty badass, isn't it?
I got to
'Cause
admit,
then
that's pretty cool.
Here's the deal. It limits the editing. So, see, this is the preview. If I want to pop back to the main cam, I can just pop back. But if I want to, I can talk about our lineup here. So, if you kind of see on our lineup, we have the top of it is the motorcycle ride with the 4 stops, which consist of leaving Harley-Davidson at or around 10 a.m. Okay, registration will take place. You probably will see this handsome guy, Scott Blewett, there because he's there every year.
Yeah, I usually do the poker chips
Yep.
and the poker cards. and
Yep,
stuff.
get you registered up, get you all going. The other cool thing about this ride is this ride is it's a no charge ride. So,
Train.
listen to that, folks. That might be the coolest thing that we've had yet on a podcast. Is the train just ripping by?
There could be like 5 or 6 during this whole hour.
All right, that's cool.
They're pretty freaky.
So we kick it off in the morning, 8:30 to 10 a.m. registration. We have a band playing early at 9:30, John Ryan, and then we have another band playing on the T-Bar patio. Arkley Boge, really cool kind of jam band, blues band, so they're going to be back there.
Excellent.
The 4 stops that we have on the ride, the VFW in Carmel, so great post 10,003.
And it's a nice place, too.
Oh, yeah, their patio's dope. You've been on it, right? Dope.
It's cool.
We may have some kind of exciting news to share at a later date about some upcoming events. But
Right on.
anyways, the VFW in Carmel, Indiana, over on Old Meridian Street. And then we go from there to the American Legion up in Noblesville. So why I call them out, because they're super, super great people. One of the guys that's helping me with the motorcycle ride, Ryan McKinney, rides for the American Legion riding chapter out of Noblesville. And they've just been great at helping support us. So, but here comes the scenic ride. They leave the American Legion in Noblesville and take some nice country roads over here to the final third, Bourbon and Cigar Lounge. Huh?
Pretty nice place.
How about that?
That's a
Nice
nice
little
ride.
ride. It's probably about a 40-minute ride.
That's a
They
good
get
ride.
over here, nice time to get a refreshment and hang out, meet Rob and the team, and then we go over to the American Legion in Fortville, so just down the street. So a lot of cool guys there. One of the guys actually that's a member there, Dakota King. I think you've met Dakota, Spencer.
Dakota actually bought a guitar amp from me recently.
Imagine that. Huh?
He was him-hawing for a long time over, and he finally pulled the trigger, and so I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
Well,
hearing
I think
it
he said
when
he's going to have
playing.
it done. He said he had to do something to it, but he said he's going to have it done.
Good.
Yeah. So we're going to go to the American Legion over in Fortville. Super, super great people. Dakota
I'm
King,
gonna
thank
talk to
you. And then we'll head back to Harley-Davidson. We're thinking we should get back there by around 2:30ish, 2:30.
I'm going to let
So
Rob come on.
Yeah. Jump up, man. Come on. Scott's going to jump out here. We're going to get proprietor of the final third. Yeah, be careful there, Scott. Let me watch your
You're
legs,
too
Scott.
fat
You're
to
hooked up.
fit in
Yep,
front
you're
of
hooked
me.
up. You're hooked up, buddy. There you go. Oh, thank you. Yeah, buddy. You're kind of a pro at this, aren't you? Huh? Yeah, there he goes. Look.
All right.
Yeah, Rob's got
Yeah,
his
get
own
it. Hey, just
podcast,
Rob,
too,
get
so
comfortable, man. Just get
Comfy.
He knows what's up.
Like I said, we're kind of a homegrown podcast here, so just get comfortable with yourself.
I like it.
Yeah, get that microphone up on you.
We got it.
Yeah,
There we go.
your microphones might be a little bit different. The ones that you guys use, these are directional, so they don't pick up a lot of crap in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
So we can have some rock and roll going,
There we
but
go.
you know,
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We got some Pacer games getting ready to start here in a little while. So,
yeah, Pacer games
There you
getting
go.
ready to start in a little while. All right, Rob, what's your first name, last name?
My name's Rob Boyland.
Rob Boyland.
Yep.
Is that what heritage is that, Rob?
We're actually Irish.
Nice.
Yep.
Good old Irish guy, Rob Boyland. It
Gaelic.
does sound like a good old Irish
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hence the hat. You know.
Hence the hat.
on.
Hence
Yeah,
that
yep.
proprietor here at the final third.
Yep.
Love you, man. Hey, knuckle shot for you,
You got it,
being one of our stops on this thing. Hey, if you want to just get that thing out of there and just pull it out, like
It's all good.
sometimes I
as
get
long as you can hear me, it's fine.
sometimes I get sick and tired of these things, and I just go, you know what?
Yeah.
It's coming out, and I'm just gonna hold this thing like this
Yeah. It'll work.
because
As long as you can hear me, I'm fine.
yeah, I can hear you. Can you? Well, see, he can't.
I don't.
I mean,
want
he
to.
can.
I
He
don't want
he-
to.
Spencer likes more of he likes more of the fireside chat kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's too cool for us. He can't take his sunglasses off. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're prescription for one thing.
whatever.
But yeah, they don't come off.
Yeah, my
often.
prescription sunglasses are in the car, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I have Rick's. I got Rick's readers because like I wear contacts.
Yeah.
And I can see the fucking writing on your bourbon bottles up there, but I can't see the shit on the table,
Yeah.
which is a problem.
See, I'm the opposite. I can see up close, but I can't see distance.
All right, I got a couple questions. Hold on, so I don't burn myself here. So thank you again, Rob, for having us in tonight. We
sure,
really
man.
appreciate it, man. This is a really cool place. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth so people can kind of see out here what's going on. But tell me a little bit about how you got this place started.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because how many stories go back to COVID, right? I was working my day job at the time, and we were sent home, and I fell in love with sitting at home and, working out on the back patio, smoking cigars all day. And when you get started, hit noon, grab a little pour of bourbon, sit out there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Got sent back to work, and I'm like, I can't work back in a cubicle again. So I asked if I could work from home, and they're like, "No, we're not ready to do that yet." I'm like, "All right." So I put my notice in a couple weeks later, and started the process
What did
doing
you? So what
this.
did you do?
I sold athletic equipment.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
Jock
Yep.
straps and whatnot.
No, that's what you
He
did.
says
No.
jock straps and whatnot.
Yeah, we did basketball, volleyball, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Like in bulk, or was it more?
No, it was more the equipment. So the stuff
Gotcha.
that hangs from the ceilings, all the manufacturing side of
There's
it.
a guy in Fishers that I used to know. He used to sell football helmets.
Oh yeah.
I won't. You probably know the guy. I'm not going to say his name
we
online.
didn't. We weren't in that side of it. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you can say it.
Yeah.
All right. So through COVID, anyways, you were at home, and then
Yeah.
was it shortly after that or during COVID?
Well, shortly after that, I helped a guy on the south side open up. It was the smoke pit at the time.
Oh, nice.
And it's no longer in business now, but I got my feet wet a little bit there.
Yeah.
This building came about, and we were looking for a building in this area, and it came about, and we just went ahead and jumped in.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And you're in Ingalls, Indiana.
Yep.
If people don't know, because we're pretty big time here, okay, man. So we are on all the streaming services,
Yep.
Yeah.
Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iHeart, all the good ones, right?
Yep.
If people don't know Indiana, where is Ingalls, Indiana?
So we're basically straight east of Fishers, in between the two towns of Pendleton and Fortville.
Okay, that's
So
where they
we're
find
like
you.
15 minutes east of Fishers.
This highway out here is what?
67.
Highway
and
66.
36. They're
Yeah.
together.
You're right. That's right. Yeah.
Pendleton
I,
Pike.
I
everyone
know
in
this. I'm
Indianapolis
just
knows.
kind of leading you along
Oh,
here
yeah,
because
yeah.
I want people to know where this is at. Like, here's the deal. If you haven't been, either if you want to take a cool car ride, if you want to take a motorcycle ride or whatever, you want to have your bicycle out here, it's just a cool spot, man. This is,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm familiar with Ingalls. I grew up in Wisconsin, but I lived in Fishers for just about 25 years. And
Yeah.
so I actually did used to ride my bicycle out this way, but
Yeah.
this wasn't this then.
No.
No, it was something different.
No, it started out as a gas station back in like the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's been restaurants and everything since then. So
Yeah, you got a great selection though, man. Like I said on the camera, you can probably see them behind us. Great selection of cigars and man, all kinds of cool stuff here. How'd you get into cigars, buddy?
I've been smoking cigars since my early 20s. I used to play a lot of golf, so you go out to the golf courses, and a lot of golf courses have a humidor. I'd grab a cigar and a 6-pack of beer and get started, and it was a really great time. That's when I started getting into it, and over the last probably 5 to 6 years,
Yeah.
I now smoke all the time.
Okay.
So it's
how many
like-
like multiple a day?
Oh yeah, yeah, 5 to 8 probably. a
So
day.
here, with the other reason, and I think you'll appreciate this. The other reason why we wanted to do this was, so Building a Refuge obviously is a men's mental health
Yes.
group, right? A
Yep.
cigar, I said. So I kind of labeled this thing, this podcast tonight. A cigar is more than a cigar.
It is.
How
Yep.
do you how do you when I say that to you? What does that mean?
Well, that's the whole reason we started this business. The cigars and whiskey are just avenues to community.
Yeah.
And you sit down and have a cigar, you're going to sit down for an hour or more, and nothing's better than to sit down and meet some new people or bring some buddies around and just talk about life.
Yeah.
And I feel like a cigar is kind of one of those things that you can sit down, and a drink as well. Sit
Yeah.
down and guys open up to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
And that's the one thing, guys. And I'm sure you talk about this all the time. guys have a hard time opening up.
They
When
do.
You're sitting down, relaxing. All you have to do is talk. It happens.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's the truth. And, you know, one of the things that, you know, we say at Building a Refuge anyways is that we're going to meet guys where they are. So sometimes we catch a little shit, not going to lie. Sometimes we catch a little shit about, you know, coming and hanging out at these places, right? Cigar bars or we've done podcasts at breweries and we've done them, you know, in different places.
Yeah.
But listen, for our audience that's listening in, we know that a lot of times this is where guys hang out. And I'm kind of one of these dudes, like, if we can start in the weeds, hell, if we can start in the roots,
Yeah.
then I'm good with that, right?
Yeah.
Because I know this, that if we can come here and we can do a podcast like this and we can share a cigar, we can share some nice bourbon or an old-fashioned or what have you. By the way, you guys make fantastic old-fashions.
Thank you.
I'd say state and maybe United States.
Let's go.
One of the top.
Let's do it.
Huh? Let's go. Let's go.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But yeah, it's fantastic, man. And I love an old fashioned. I came from Wisconsin. Now I used to drink brandy old fashions, but
They're good. They're not old fashions, but they're good.
That's right. But I mean, we know, man. Like we know that these types of places are places where dudes are going to come and hang. And there's ladies hanging out here too, right?
Yep.
It's about community.
It is.
It is about community, and that's what it's about, man. So I don't ever want to shy away from having an opportunity to do something like this. I'm a big one on, you know, look, man, I don't want to get spiritual, but I'm a big believer in Christ.
Yep.
And a matter of fact, I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
You know, if we're sitting around this table here and we're talking about Jesus and we're talking about what he does, this is just as much church as anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
And more so in
some people
cases.
might have some heartburn about that out there, and that's okay.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just know in my heart, man, that dude, he would rather have us hanging out in here together talking about him and what he's done for us.
Yeah.
Than trying to create something, you know what I mean? Like trying to
Yeah.
create something that people are gonna like, I guess. I don't know what's the best way to
Exactly,
put it.
Yeah.
So Spencer, how did you get to know Rob and this place?
So actually, I met
And I know you
Lisa-
didn't meet him on a dating site, right?
No.
No.
Well, no. So
That was later.
I met his wife, Lisa, first.
Whoa,
we
whoa.
actually worked together at the time that my wife was pregnant with my first son. And it turned out that we all went to the same church.
Yeah.
So, you know, showed up to church. Oh, Lisa's here. I had to meet Rob, which was, you know, that was rough.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was a rough
Yeah,
time
yeah.
in my life, but we're all right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
You met Rob's wife first.
I
Yeah.
worked with Rob's wife.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly lost that job because I had to take time off for my son being born, and I don't apologize for that. But
No.
you know,
Hell no.
I met Rob through her at church, and Rob's seen me in Speedos, and
Oh, yeah.
Rob's seen me in biker shorts.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So Rob knows me pretty well.
Yeah, blinded still. But
Blinded by the light, they say,
I was,
right?
I was
Something,
25 pounds lighter back then too, so
Weren't we all?
probably.
Maybe.
I was more like 50 pounds lighter. I don't know what you guys
So
think.
y'all have known each other for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, my
25
first-
years now.
My first son was born in
25
98,
years.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kick-ass,
we bonded
man.
pretty quickly over Boston.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
music
We're both
group.
Boston
We're
fans.
fans,
Oh,
yeah.
I was,
Boston
yeah,
fans.
dude. Boston. I had them in my brain. Like
Like
one of my favorite bands
they're
by all
so
time.
underrated. Like
Oh.
they don't get played a whole lot on the radio, but they're
Nope.
So you
so
guys will appreciate this. I was 17 years old, and you guys remember when the final stage came out, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think it was 86 or 87. I can't remember exactly. 87, I think. Anyways, so a guy, Rick Chambers. If Rick, you ever hear this, I love you, man. Great friend of mine in high school. He was a guitar player, and so he called me. Like, you know, pick up a phone, call.
Yep.
He's like, hey, man, you want to go see Boston tonight? And I'm like, fuck yeah. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. We didn't have tickets or anything, right? So we go downtown, Market Square Arena,
Yep.
and we're just kind of walking around outside, and it was getting close to showtime. And this couple comes rolling up on a motorcycle. And I don't want to say older, but older than us at the time. And they're like, hey, man, you guys need tickets? And we're like, yeah, we do need tickets. And they're like, well, we can't go, man. And we have something like they had something planned that night or whatever, and they just like, hey, we want face, just I think it was like $20 or $25 maybe. It might be like $17.50.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's $20. And we walk in. We don't even know where his ticket's at. We walk in, dude. They're on the floor. They're probably 25 rows back of the stage.
Oh, wow.
And the coolest thing ever, dude, they played that whole album. They came out, played it from start to finish. Every song, the way it was recorded, from start to finish.
That's cool.
And then they played, like, all the hits and stuff, from back in the late 70s, early 80s and shit. One of the greatest, like, it's still on my top, like, 5 concerts of all time.
That's cool.
I mean, just such a cool band, man. Yeah, it's good that you guys got a Boston connection
Yep,
there, man.
yep.
Yeah, I love it.
I've never seen them live. I would
Oh,
love to, but
dude, I don't know. Like when you get the opportunity, like I was a big music nut, man, when I was younger, and I still am a music nut today. And I don't really have like, one genre of music that I like over another. I just
Same
like
here.
music. It's what I told, it's how him and I got connected, man. You know what I mean? And when I went to buy the pub table and met his wife, and I was like, man, this thing is cool as shit. What's going on with this Hepcat deal, And but like these guys, man, they just fucking rock. They
really
get
do.
after it, man, and that's why, like, even at the Rock and Ride for Hope, man, we have such a great lineup of music.
You have a great lineup, and it's all local, which is
All
really
local.
cool.
So
That
we
there's
only
that much talent in this area is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
There
dude.
is
Here's
a
the thing.
ton.
Here's the thing, Spencer. And you'll appreciate this. We only have, I think, 2 bands that are mainly cover bands, and I don't want to say cover bands in a way that sounds like diluted, right? Because they're not. They're very talented bands that play cover songs. Okay,
Right.
they're very good. Big in Belgium. One of my really
They're
good
really
friends,
good.
Chris
Really
Catone, great band.
Really
Great
good.
band. Arkley Boge, another one, great band. Everything from Marshall Tucker to, Stevie Ray Vaughan to, great artists, great music. And then really the headliners, when you think about them, you guys, Cosmic Situation, Altering Gray, and Tommy, all 4 bands, you're going to hear nothing but original music.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Now, you may hear a cover. You might hear it towards the end. You might get 1 or 2. But, like, I know you guys sometimes will do a Stray Cats song. But for the most part, you're playing your own music.
Yeah, and actually we're going to do our so we're working on an album right now. Our debut album should be released later this summer or early fall. We're going to do that album in its entirety.
And I have
Which is
heard. I
awesome.
have heard. What's one of the songs? I've heard one of the songs.
Little Goth Girl.
Yeah,
Little Goth
yeah,
Girl.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
great song.
That's the title
Yeah,
track.
It's awesome, man. It's
you.
awesome.
I
I
think
shit.
you
appreciate
played
that.
that one the first time here
Yeah,
live, didn't
we
you?
did, yeah.
You guys played in here?
Yeah.
Oh,
We did,
hell
yeah. We played out on the patio last year.
Nice.
It was fun.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a better crowd for you next time.
Look at this, man. My microphone's dropping
That's
and
all
everything.
right. It's it's going to be a good show when you show up, and before you get anything unloaded, 4 people are asking where the merch table is.
Oh yeah.
we sold, we sold 4 shirts before we even got, before we even got an instrument out
dude,
of the truck.
the merch that you guys got
a good-
is
that's a good
solid,
day.
man. It's like it's really
these,
solid.
These T-shirts you got, the one you got on right now.
Yeah, this is a
Great
I should have
our-
had the cats,
our
man. I
logo.
should have had the Hep Cat like on
Yeah,
here.
Well, I didn't know you were coming. I would have worn mine tonight.
it's a good logo.
I would have worn mine
We've
too.
also got a shirt, a little Goth Girl shirt that's got the album cover art on it, and that's actually selling really well right now too. Even though the song's not out yet.
So you did do some shirts with that on it.
Yeah.
I know the design.
Yeah, we got that artwork all taken care of. So we've been selling those pretty well too. That's a pretty fun shirt.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. So what do you guys fill us in a little bit for the audience that's listening in, man? What do you guys got going on this summer outside of the June 7th
Well,
show?
we are playing in I believe it's the premiere this year of Cornstalk Music Fest, which is going on at Bill Monroe Campgrounds beginning of July. And it's a Friday, Saturday, all day long music. And Tommy Baldwin's going to be playing there.
I
So
heard
we're
that,
playing
Tommy.
on Friday. He's playing on Saturday. Let's see who. Blind Melon, I believe, is headlining.
Awesome.
And I can't remember who else, but that's going to be a big show. Big
Yeah,
show. A lot
man.
of people for that one. And then we're just playing all over the place. You kind of have to, if you go to naptownhepcats.com, our website, you can see our schedule on there. But we're busy every weekend, so
Nice.
check it out and find out where we're going to be. Come check
Yeah,
us out.
awesome.
And you guys gotta check these guys out, man. They're a blast to watch on stage.
Super blast.
These guys aren't just up there playing music; they're entertaining.
Oh yeah,
And
we
it's
man.
have
a blast
fun.
to watch.
We
You
have fun and it shows.
And
Hell yeah,
everybody
you
in the
do.
crowd has fun along with
Yeah.
you.
Good dance music.
Yeah.
Bring your lady out.
Yep.
You can
Yeah.
scooch around a little bit.
For
Do
sure.
some.
It's
I'm
hard
not
to
a very
sit
good
still
dancer,
when you
but
listen to rockabilly music.
yeah.
It's hard to sit still. Even if you don't know the songs, it's just so much fun. It's
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
to sit
yeah.
still.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome, man.
come check us out.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Like, I think. I mean, again, you know, we one of the things that I want to do is at least have some of the, you know, the times up on here. I got to put glasses on because on the screen this is a lot.
Well, that's
like,
a tiny little,
That is
tiny little frame you've got there on the
I'm like,
screen.
is that
the hap-
really tight?
listen,
I know.
the net. Well, that's the problem of it. Like if I didn't have glasses on, I'd be fine. But you guys come out 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3
Okay.
p.m. Saturday, June 7th at Harley Davidson of Indianapolis. Bring out. It's a family event, man. And it's
Yeah.
here's the best part. There's no charge.
No charge.
No charge.
You've got no excuse to not be there. So
No
Yes.
charge. The only
It's a
thing,
big event.
the only 3 areas that I know that we're actually going to have charging for that day, is the T-Bar Cafe. Harley will have that open, so you can get domestics and
Yeah.
sodas and waters and wine and all that stuff. And then Beer Brewery is going to be there, and Kilwin's Ice Cream because we wanted to have a dessert there this year.
nice.
Nice.
So that's the only real 3, unless you want to pick up some merchandise and shit like that. But for us, for
Yeah.
Building a Refuge, everything is a donation. So I have some friends coming in from Wisconsin. You guys remember these guys from last year. They do a chicken queue.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, good old Wisconsin chicken queues.
Yeah.
The seasoning will not be revealed, okay? Just it's secret. It may or may not have some beer in it. But amazing chicken. So we're going to have bone-in chicken thighs. We're going to have some potato salad, baked beans, some chips, blah, blah, blah. That's just a donation. If you're hungry, come and get a plate.
How
you know?
do you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
I know.
You got a full day of music, food on just a donation basis only.
Yeah.
You're gonna have awesome bikes to look
Here's
at.
here's another cool thing what we're
mean-
doing. Somebody brought this up and I thought it was a good idea is that we're going to have a bartender there, but he's going to be making mocktails,
Oh, perfect.
right?
Great.
Somebody was like, "Hey, you should have a non-alcoholic
There you go.
option."
Yep.
So we're going to either do 3 or 4. We might keep it to 3 just because, you know, it's a little more efficient, I guess.
That's a great idea. The kids
My,
can have fun,
well,
drinking some fun drinks.
The other thing, I've gotten more familiar with this. If you haven't seen, my son's story is on our podcast, so you can go out to
That's awesome.
buildingarefuge.org, or you can go to our YouTube channel, Building a Refuge, and my son shares his story of sobriety. So he just reached his 1 year about not quite a month ago. Yeah, I guess it is a month. It's almost coming up on a month right now. Matter of fact, I think it's a year and a month today. But he has got such a great story. 30-year-old kid, you know what I mean? And just finally was like, look, man, I am so sick and tired of being in this cycle.
Yeah.
And it just revolved around work, bar, home, work, bar, blackout, work, bar. And I said, well, when we were talking to him about it, I said, how long was this going on? He's like, since college. And I'm just like, fuck,
Yeah.
you know? It's easy to get caught up in.
It
It just
is.
is.
It
You know what I
is.
mean?
Yep.
And I hope for the audience why I share that with you, because Austin wouldn't mind if I shared it. It's real. That's
It is.
the thing. It's real, and I want people to know this because you can come out to our events, and you can come and hang out. You don't have to do a damn thing. Nobody's going to ask you what's going on with you. Nobody's going to do any shit like that. Just come and hang out. Because
Yeah.
what we know is, in doing this in the last 6 to 7 years, as long as we can create an environment that's less stressful, and everybody knows why we're there. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows it's a mental health organization.
Yep.
Then it takes the stigma away. It actually it takes that stigma out of it,
Yeah.
and that's what we want to do.
And I will say
you know?
this: the donation process is extremely low pressure, and I know this from experience that, you know, if you want to go and get food, and you're having a hard time with money, you're not going to be worried about it. There's no one's going to pressure you to give anything. You know, you're not going to feel bad. Nobody's going to make you feel bad. So
Yeah.
come out, especially if you're in that situation and you're hungry and you need a meal.
Yeah.
Come out for this. Get yourself a meal. No one's going to hassle you for money. Nobody's going to make you feel bad about it. So come.
Come on out, man. Right? Yeah, come on out.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask a guy to come up here. I'm gonna Spencer. I'm gonna have you switch spots here in a minute with my boy Cam. Cam, get up here. Right here. Take Spencer's spot. Yeah. Cam always comes out to these things, and he never.
jumps on.
Well, you know what? He has been on. Let me take that back. He has been on before in the past. We did a podcast down in Nashville, Tennessee, with a gentleman by the name of Kyle Lamb, and him and Cam are really good buddies. But Kyle has just got an amazing life story, but he happened to be a part of the Mogadishu, I'll say conflict anyways, that the movie Black Hawk Down was written about.
Okay.
And, man, what a really cool opportunity that was.
Yeah.
Cam, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
What's up, buddy?
This kid, you know this.
Oh,
kid.
yeah, I know this guy. Yeah,
Okay.
I stop in here occasionally,
Yeah.
check on things.
Well,
If
you
I
were-
could get through this thing without not just tearing up laughing
yeah.
and just because I love this dude so much, man.
Well, you were talking about, having the mocktails and having the options for people.
Yeah.
That's something I love about the culture we have here. So we have several people that do not drink, but they'll come out here and we have non-alcoholic whiskey and tequila. We have non-alcoholic beers, and they can still enjoy something without alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And be sitting around and hanging out, and we never push it. You don't want
Right.
to push it, but it's available if someone wants to be able to have a drink and not have the alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real problem.
I
And you
know,
have to-
I know, and that's one of the big reasons why we do this the way we do it.
Sure, yeah.
Rob, is because we just face things head on. And Cam knows this, man. I mean, you've been a part of building a refuge now, man, for a few years, and you see what we do.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. We just meet people where they are, and no pressure, and
Right.
try to make it good for everybody.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and if this is the place we can do it in, then we're gonna do it, man. We're gonna
Exactly.
throttle it up and do it.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's real. Cam, what's going on, buddy? Huh?
Not much.
What's
man.
going? He's got a shirt on tonight. I love it.
Yeah, I planned to be here early today.
Yeah?
and got caught up in
That's
some
all right.
nonsense, and I didn't.
This
make
isn't.
it,
This is a
so-
no nonsense zone.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the Pacers tonight, man?
I feel pretty good actually. I was listening to some commentary on the way in, and it sounds like not everybody's as confident
Yeah.
maybe as I was. My son was at the game Tuesday night.
Oh, what a game to be at!
yeah, and,
Huh?
so
Better
he had a
than the
great-
game after the 500.
Yeah.
They should have won that game.
Yeah,
They
well,
gave that game
yeah.
up.
I mean, look at their record this year: 6-0 in games 1 and 2, 0-3 in games 3.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're 5-0 right now in games 4 and 5. Just close it out tonight. Get ready for OKC.
Let's go! Come on, Pacers.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're playing great, moving fast, and
And they're a
it's just-
blast to watch.
It's great to watch. I mean, it really is reminiscent of going back to the
Yeah.
the Reggie Miller days and,
Oh,
and
right.
being really into it, and
Yeah.
and
How about Pat McAfee the other night just getting the place set up? So
Was
it
that
was funny. I was
amazing?
listening to the show the other day, and they were talking about, like, I can't believe they gave, like, fans a microphone, and then they gave it to you. And he's like, let's send these sons of bitches back to New York. And the funny part of it is that they said that they cut him off, right? So they cut him off when he went, let's send these sons of bitches back to New York, and then they just cut him off.
yeah.
But he ended it with their ears ringing.
Yeah,
And that was
yeah.
the thing. Like, so he was getting all these text messages like, Mike, you're a dick, and all this shit.
Now, come
Yeah.
on, man! Everybody lighten up. It's
I know.
It's, a
It's
great
entertainment,
time. Yeah, it's
man.
great
There's
entertainment.
no better hype man on the planet right now.
Oh,
than Pat.
yeah. I always tell people, man, I hope somebody listening out there, man, like catches us. And they're like, because I always tell people, I was like, look, if we could model a show, I'd model it after the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
We just don't have the same kind of money.
No.
But Rob, I mean, we're hanging out in this place, dude.
Yeah, this
like,
is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Come on.
about as good as it gets, buddy. I mean, I told Cam, I was like, this is one of the funnest spots I think that we could come and do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
well-
appreciate you guys coming out, and I really appreciate what you guys do. What you're doing is very, very needed in the men's, men in general. And it's like we talk about this all the time. Sometimes when you get a couple guys together, they'll open up a little bit. But guys are the hardest ones to open up
Yeah.
on things that are struggling. We're supposed to be the guys that we're providing, we're working, we're doing stuff.
That's right.
We still need to have people around us we can talk to and
Yeah.
work through this stuff.
You said that great, man. I mean, you're right, dude. We have a lot of pressure, I think, sometimes. I think sometimes we do it to ourselves, too, right? But I think we just have a lot of pressure put on us just as a guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because, man, it's no fun to ever go through a job loss. It's no
No.
fun to go through a business failure. It's no fun to go through a divorce. It's no fun to go through bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It's no fun to go through a drunk driving, ticket.
You're
It's
right.
no fun to go through all this shit because guys just put it on ourselves. Like we're we fucked up and we failed.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? And here's the thing. Yeah, all of those things are going to have like real life ramifications to them.
Yeah.
But you're all right, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to say like you're going to be okay.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, if I could just talk about final
Jump
third
in.
for a second.
Yeah, jump
That's okay
in,
with
buddy.
Rob.
Jump in.
So my wife and I actually come here. We were coming
Sh-
about every
shout
Friday
out
night.
to your wife.
Yeah, shout out. But we were coming here every Friday, and it
Speaking
was
of wives, my wife just showed up.
yeah. So we have
All right. I love
There
it.
you go.
Let's go.
yeah. So we both have busy work lives, and we use this as a time just to catch up for the week, and it's been kind of therapeutic for us individually, but as a married couple,
Yeah.
just to sit here and it's probably the one time a week my wife will sometimes have a drink.
Yeah.
We'll both smoke.
I
A
love
cigar
that.
out on,
Yeah,
the, out on
yeah.
the deck out here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The sun sets back
Ah.
there, and we love it. I mean, we look forward to the time we get to come over here, and it's one of the things we really look forward to as a couple each week. And
Yeah.
we'll spend an hour or two here just unwind for the week, catch up with each other.
Yeah.
It's been great for us over.
Well,
over
and
the
that's
last
what I
year or
was telling
so.
Rob. What's cool about, since our progress, I guess, we've been able to get on. And thanks to Rusty. Rusty was the one that helped me. And actually, it wasn't Rusty. It was Jim Davis. Jim helped me do all this. Yeah. So thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
But anyways,
Uncle-
Jim was the
Uncle
one
Top
that
Gun.
hooked me up with Podbean, which is the streaming service essentially that puts everything out onto Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all the streaming services.
Yep.
So I'll say that because if you are listening on one of those streaming services, like, come out here. If you're in Indiana,
Yeah.
you know how we do food shows or they do food shows and we do bourbon play, whatever. Like, come out here. Come
Yeah.
to Ingalls, Indiana, man. Come to Final Third. Look them up.
Yeah.
Right, Rob. What's the address here?
It's 180 East Broadway, Ingalls, Indiana.
180 East Broadway,
If you're-
Ingalls,
If
Indiana.
you're coming into Ingalls, we're straight across the street from the water tower.
There you
see
go.
us right here.
Yeah, I
Yep.
see.
Can't
And
miss it. Can't miss it.
And he's got some trains that rip by here, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
If you like trains, come here and smoke a cigar, watch the
That's
train
true.
roll by.
That's
That's
right.
true. Yeah.
But I just, man, that's why I love having the opportunity around this time of year because we always do the Rock and Ride for Hope. We used to do it in May, but we took the month of May as it's National Mental Health Awareness Month just to kind of bring awareness, raise some money, blah, blah, blah. As a reminder, we are a 501c3. We'd love your donations. We don't expect it. We'd love it. We don't expect it. But we moved this event to the first weekend in June because of that reason.
Yeah.
One, we compete a lot against the greatest spectacle on earth, the Indy
Exactly.
500. We
Yeah.
don't want to ever get in the way of that because, I mean, we could put a dent in that thing, and- right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of things that go on in the month of May that get in the way. So we said, hey, look, let's take the month of May to really bring awareness what we do. It's one of the reasons why we love to come out and do stuff like this, man, and highlight like what you guys are doing. And I mean, we just did another one last Thursday, highlighting a bunch of the stops, and yeah, it's cool,
That's
man.
cool, man.
So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So Cam, what are you doing during the daytime, man? Like, what's going on here? I know you're a farmer.
Well, I do have
'Cause
some
people don't
livestock.
know you.
Yeah, I do have some livestock. My neighbor and I are raising some pigs together. This is our first, for both of us, our first go around with that. So that's been interesting. We've had some friends help us out a little bit, kind of give us some pointers, and we've learned a few things the hard way, along the way. I've got about a 600-pound boar that likes to bust through his fence and get out. So we have fun putting him back.
A 600-pound.
Yeah, he's awesome.
What's
dude.
his name?
Boris.
Boris, I love it.
And Boris.
Boris.
I mean, he's awesome because he's like a dog. Like you go up there and you start scratching this big animal, and it just rolls
Yeah.
over and it just scratches his belly and all that, like like a dog. But it's therapeutic, being out with the animals, and they're obviously dependent, on
Yeah.
you for food and water and all that. But
Absolutely.
they're also social animals, so. That's kind of cool. My wife actually likes to get out there and mix it up with them a little
And
bit.
you guys just got into this not too long ago.
Yeah, so I have a neighbor who he wants to eat clean until he wants to raise his own food.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I'd never really done that before, and he approached me and said, "Hey, I can't really do it on my own since we're
Right.
neighbors and properties together and all that. I want to know if I would kind of throw in with them."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
You got
So,
chickens too?
Yes, got about 40 chickens.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then he has some. My neighbor has some rabbits.
You don't eat the rabbits.
I don't, but he does.
Well,
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I'm a huge fan. I know it is. I'm a huge fan of like New Orleans. So if you go to the right
too.
French restaurant in New Orleans, you will get a very nice rabbit stew.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's outstanding.
Turtle soup
Yeah.
down there
Oh.
too.
Turtle, yeah.
So one of the best places that I've had it recently is a place called Restaurant Revolution.
Okay.
Their recipe is like 140 years old. It's etched in this massive mirror when you walk in it. It's etched on a wall.
That's cool.
Oh my God! And they put a quail deviled egg on the top of it,
Oh.
which is
perfect.
like literally this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never
And
really.
It's probably delicious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Rob, I'm gonna come back to you, man. So
Okay.
behind us here is your humidor.
Yeah.
How do you know which cigars to keep in stock, or what drives you to kind of do all that, or keep what in stock and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, starting out, what we do is, I'm market research. I'm smoking everything to make sure it's something we want in here. That's the first step. But then keeping it in here is just literally, what are people smoking? We try to walk people through the humidor and find different things.
Yeah.
Learn people's palates to figure out what they might like. But there's just certain cigars that don't sell, and you have to move them out.
Yeah.
They don't make money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Did you did you have a wide knowledge? You have a broad knowledge of cigars when you got into this?
When I got into it somewhat, and then I've learned a lot since.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just hands-on and really just reading and learning from people that are in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know when we were Sherry and I had a plan. We had a planned vacation to be down in New Orleans, and unfortunately, my mother-in-law, Sherry's mom, got sick, and they actually had the Premier Cigar Association
Yeah,
in
we
New
were supposed to
Orleans.
be down there,
Yeah,
but
remember we
didn't
came
do
in.
it
I was
this year.
talking to you about that,
Yeah.
and Sherry had bought us tickets to this event and stuff, and man, I was really looking forward to it. We have a place that we love hanging out down there in the quarter, and they were the ones that turned me on one of the sticks that I really love a lot, and man, we've just I like cigars, but it's like anything else, right? It's like coffee, or it's like bourbon, or any wines, things like that. You're gonna find something that you like the taste of. Right. I mean, and that's kind of the big thing. And the one thing, like you told me tonight, because the cigar you were like, I said, hey man, this is what I like. And you're like, well, do you like what you said? Not a smooth draw. What is it? An open draw,
yeah,
or what's
yeah.
the other side of that?
More of a snug draw.
A snug draw.
Or tight.
What do you like, Cam? Are you a snug guy, or are you? I mean, I know you're kind of snuggly.
I'm a snuggly dude. Anyway,
You are a pretty snuggly
probably,
dude.
I'm probably more of a snug draw
Yeah?
person.
You are.
Yeah.
See, I'm an open.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm more so too.
Yeah, I like an open because I just don't like working too hard at it.
Yeah, I don't mind a little work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that
It's
about
kinda
you.
cool, yeah.
You like a little work.
Yeah, and I just find it to be
You're not afraid of sweating, are you?
super relaxed. But I find this to be super relaxing. Like just there's nothing more relaxing than just smoking a cigar and
I
just
agree.
taking
No doubt.
your time. It really unwinds my whole week.
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic.
I do too, man. I don't know. There, like I was telling people tonight, doing this here. I said, a cigar is more than just a cigar.
It is.
And we've done a couple. Well, we've done another podcast similar to this, not in a cigar bar. It's the first one.
Yeah.
This is like
Breaking new ground.
popping the champagne bottle here tonight.
Branching out.
I know. We definitely want to come back. But we did one in a bar up in Wisconsin, and I labeled that one "A bar's more than a bar."
Yeah.
Right, and it was kind of funny because I had we shot a podcast last night that's going to be airing here probably in the next couple of days, anyways. Well, next week anyhow. And one of the questions came up, man. Again around kind of what we do at Building a Refuge and being a men's mental health organization. The guy asked me, he's like, "Why do you do it?" And I said, "We do it because we care.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We just care."
Yep.
And that's what's fun, because we don't. I don't try to make this more than what it is. Like the team, Cam knows everybody that's on this team, and I could go through a long list of guys that have helped out. Some of them are hanging out in our audience tonight, but man, it's just because we care. And I know all these guys. We mentioned even a little bit earlier tonight, man, where we go to church. And we happen to go to a church here in Fishers, Indiana called Lebanon. And Rusty's not going to care that I say that because, I got all of about 250 people that subscribe to my channel right now. So,
That's a good audience.
yeah, I know, right? It's not bad. I mean, we're growing. So if you hear us, go like us and subscribe.
Yeah.
But, man, it's just good dudes. You know,
Yeah,
there's a
just-
lot of wonderful women a part of it, but like when you talk about guys, there's just good guys there.
Yeah, well, it's just real. You know, that's one of the things. My wife grew up in a very traditional church experience, you know, and you had an organ and a choir, and there was a certain rhythm to what you expected out of church. And
Yeah.
so just that first visit to Leavener was a chore, getting her to go, because we were searching for churches
Yeah.
at the time. And because of where it met, she's like, I'm not going there. Even though we knew Rusty, and then the first visit, we both knew this was our church home.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it was just because everybody was just so real, and it was just the message was just the Bible, and it wasn't all this other stuff going on. So we loved it. We've been going there, I think, 8 years now. And, and
Yeah,
it is truly our church home there.
It is. I look at it the same way, Cam. I mean, I just told Rusty this the other night. We actually play in a Top Golf league together, and we were just kind of talking about it. And I was like, how it came up, but we mentioned it here earlier. From a tithing perspective, what this community has helped me understand, like the event that we're doing, the Rock and Ride for Hope, the hours that I put into it, the hours that Cam has come and put into it, the hours that Scott's put into it. I see Ryan out here. I see, Spencer, Rick. I mean, Eric Robinson. I mean, man, like I could go down a laundry list of people that have put time into this.
Yeah.
And every second that you put into something where you're helping somebody is as much tithing as anything else.
100%. Yeah.
And that's what the community has helped me understand, because I was a guy that felt guilty all the time that I didn't give enough money.
Yeah.
And that was something that kind of pushed me away from my my pathway that I was on. And just to kind of tell everybody, and so you understand too, Rob, one of the big reasons we started building a refuge is in 2015 I lost my brother to suicide.
Oh man.
And tragically, 2022 hit us again. My stepsister took her life.
Oh wow.
So we've been hit by this, right? One of the gentlemen that was a huge part of this, and now he lives in Colorado. We can kick him in the ass a little bit because he moved away from us. We miss him deeply. But Eric Robinson, who I was a really, really good friend with, and I wouldn't have gotten reconnected if it wasn't for all this with him. He is a founder, co-founder, huge part of Building Village, but he was an attempt on his own life.
Oh, wow.
And so what happened was, Rob, is we were hanging around a coffee table like this, and we were like, man, there's nowhere out there where guys can just come to and hang out and be themselves.
Right.
And so we were like, fuck it, let's just start it. Let's just do it.
Yep.
And so Eric was the one that came up with the name Building a Refuge, because he really liked the refuge mentality. So what we do is we are a resource refuge. That's what we are. I'm not licensed. I never would be. But if somebody comes to us, we have a ton of resources to go to.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to be. That's what I want. I told somebody the other night, man, we want to be the tip of the spear when somebody's like, hey, I'm going through something, and somebody says, hey, go check these guys out.
Yeah.
We hope that they come.
Yeah.
We just hope. Because this is what you're going to get right here.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're not trying to fix anybody. We're just letting people know you belong.
Right.
You're,
Yeah.
you're enough, and try to help you move to a place where either if you need services, you know where to find them. Because I think it's one of the big hurdles for everybody is, who do I call? How do I get into something? And some of the folks that you have coming in are actual counselors. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
Man, they'll talk to you, and it's not, you don't have this big process ahead of you to go,
Right.
okay, I got to fill out forms, and I got to do, I got to tell my story 50 times. and
That's
all that.
right.
It's like I can just be with a group of guys, kind of relax, and learn where I can find some.
You can.
some
I
resources.
guarantee you can come out to one of our events, and you're going to find somebody that has walked similar shoes. I don't want to say exact because it'll never be.
Right.
But you'll find somebody that's walked in some similar shoes. And the other part of it is they're not going to judge you for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not going to be like, oh.
We've all got shit we've gone through, and when you get together and you can actually talk about it,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, man, and that's just it. I mean, I'll just list a couple of the resources. One, thank you to all of our veterans. Thank you to all of our active military today. Thanks to all of our first responders, our police, fire, anybody that kind of works in that civil service arena. But we have a lot of resources that are going to be on site at the Rock and Ride for Hope. Everything from the VA, So we have the VA benefits that'll be there, Veteran Affairs benefits. We have a representative from the hospital, so the care team. We have a company called Allendale Treatment, which is an addiction treatment center based out of Fort Wayne. They are actually partnering with another nonprofit called FW22, which is a nonprofit that focuses on veteran suicide. So they're going to be there as well. We have Stigma Free Fishers. We have St. Vincent Stress Center that's going to be there. We have a company called Gray Matters, which is pretty cool. So what they do is they do brain mapping, which is pretty wild. Like I was like, I don't know if you guys want to map my brain or not, but sure, let's give it a shot. So they're going to be there, pretty cool people. Remedy Live is going to be there. They're actually the company that hosts the 988 number. They also host a really great resource for us, which is called 494949. You can text Refuge. It's an anonymous conversation. So, which is really cool because if somebody doesn't want to have, hey, I want to talk out loud about it, you can do it anonymously. So we have a whole resource. Man, I'm blown away by all of the people that said, hey, we want to come out and set up. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of our sponsorships. So we have kind of 3 different sponsorship levels for the organization. There's a Refuge, Hope, and Support. Refuge being our platinum. So Gimbal Financial, Gaylord Electric, LDR Studios, Harley Davidson of Indianapolis, the Tony Bennett Foundation, great guys there. The Legion Group, which is a construction company. I've just learned recently, and Eric has been a big help with this when he was kind of helping out here and was here. The construction industry's hit hard by this, super hard. So we're really excited to have not only Gaylord, but the Legion Group aboard as well. So some great sponsorships, man, and that's how we get it done. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, man.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's good
Glad to see
stuff.
you got that support. That's amazing.
And you guys, Final Third
here for you.
Cigar and Bourbon Lounge.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
Yeah. Well, and Brandon, you mentioned the protective services people, military, public safety, and all that. But just the dudes that go out and work every day.
Yeah.
The construction guys, the guys that are just out there, getting it done
Getting
every
it done.
day
Yeah.
quietly. That people honestly just forget about. And,
I know.
And that's
I know.
what this is all about. It's just about. It doesn't matter where you come from.
Well, that's
we're all-
it's
we're
such
all-
a great point, Cam. It just is because I just I've known you. I've known a fair amount of my friends that work in that industry. One of my really, really good buddies, man. I'm sure he's getting close to retiring from the fire department, and I know he's just seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of cop shows.
I didn't say it. Okay. I mean, I know he's not a police officer.
Sorry,
but
man. I don't know who he's talking about, but I apologize for that.
See, that's the fun stuff between police
Yeah.
officers and
That's it.
firemen.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That was in poor taste.
Because what they think is that they just sit in a lounger and play games all day.
Yeah.
No, they eat and sleep too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They do it all.
That's true.
They do it all.
Sorry, firefighters.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Up and down the pole.
But I mean, it's it's just because we can laugh like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you can't laugh like that, man, then come on, right? But
Exactly,
so I'm just look, I'm blessed that we can do this. All the help that we have, like I said, we have so many volunteers that come. We're going to have a ton of volunteers that are going to come out and help us the day of the Rock and Ride for Hope, and we're I'll say
awesome.
thank you in advance. But yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, and especially the guy thing, just all the guys that are out there. It's you may not think you've been through, some major trauma or whatever, but if you've gone through a job loss or a divorce
that's
or
right.
both, you've gone through some of the most stressful stuff a man
Yeah.
or anybody can go through.
That's exactly right.
And you got to recognize that you need support, and don't
Yeah.
try to do it on your own. Don't isolate. This is a great place just to socialize and
Yeah.
talk to people that have been through exactly what you've been through. Actually, maybe not exact, but the same kind of
Yeah,
processes
similar
that
shoes, man. They're going to be in
and-
similar pathway.
like-
Yeah.
We've all gone through different things, and
Yeah.
no one, again, no judgment or any of that. We're just a bunch of dudes hanging
That's
out.
right, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna kind of slide into wrapping this up, man. We try to keep it at an hour, so I'm gonna throw up some resources here on the screen for everybody that's watching, anyways. So we have a ton of resources out there. You can see some of these on our board here. Definitely think about the text 494949. If you are struggling, first and foremost, use the 988 number. It is just a great resource for you to help. I mean, we care. You're loved. You're not alone. Definitely use it because it's the difference between you being here and you not being here. And I can tell you people want you here. you know. So, Rob, thank you so much, man.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
thank
having
you.
you here, I'm going to throw the final third. Look, we got a nice little placard here for you guys, right? The Mental Health
Nice.
Hour
Yeah.
here live at the final third. I love it.
Awesome.
And, so come on out to the Rock and Ride for Hope, June 7th, 2025. You know, we're looking forward to it. I give people a little bit of a broad look at that little wide angle of
There you go.
the establishment. It's pretty
everybody,
cool
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, people
But,
are gathering ready for the Pacer games.
Getting
so-
ready for the Pacers to win tonight to kick those. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but kick those
I've
Knicks.
got a good feeling. I've got a good feeling.
I do too, man.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
a great feeling tonight. So, but Rob, hey, I'm gonna
Hey, I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah.
so much,
Yeah,
man.
thank
Cam,
you,
thanks
man.
for popping on, man. I
Yeah,
really
sorry.
appreciate you, buddy.
Rolling a little late, but
No,
I'm
look,
glad to
this
be
is
here.
like we had. Like, thank for Scott coming on and Spencer coming on. Rick's back here in the production chamber. Rick was on last week. We got a special camera now that we can pull over to Rick, man.
Nice.
Rick Purcell has been one of the most like concrete just pillars of this thing.
That's cool.
And I'm so grateful for Eric to have introduced me to Rick, and we're very grateful for him, man.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Gotta have
Yeah, I'm
that.
gonna make him tear up over there, right?
Naptown
So,
Hepcats are like super cool.
oh yeah, the Naptown Hepcats, dude, are
Yeah.
gonna rock it. So they're gonna be out at the Rock and Ride for Hope, and can't wait to see Spencer and all the boys just get after it, man. He's a cool dude,
Yeah,
isn't
look
he?
at that
He
dude.
is. He's a
I
good
mean,
dude.
that cool is just like a cool aura.
He
around
might
that
be
dude.
asleep right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
his eyes are I'm pretty sure are pretty sure closed, but I don't know, man. But again, if you guys if you're out there struggling, man, definitely reach out. You know, you're not alone, and until next time,
Yeah.
Rob, thank you so much, buddy.
All right,
We
buddy.
appreciate you and appreciate everything you guys do here, and we'll
as
catch you
well.
on the flip side.
got
So
it, buddy.
be, as Pat McAfee would tell people, just be good to people.
Just be good.
Just be nice. That's all it takes.
It's real easy.
Smile at somebody, ask them how they're doing, right? Invite them out to the Rock and Ride for Hope.
Rock
Yeah.
and ride for
And I'm going to send a personal invitation to Pat McAfee to come out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on,
so if
Pat.
anybody
That'd be-
listens to this,
You should send something official to his.
oh, I
people.
do. Believe me, they probably know
Okay.
who I am. I blow them up on.
All right. If
On-
anybody knows Pat, tell him to holler at Brandon.
That's right. Come on
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks a lot again, man. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you soon.
All right. Cheers, you guys.